Nonverbals is everything that communicates, but is not a word. This beautiful theater, it's communicating to us. How you sit is communicating to us. The things that you attach to yourself, a purse, a pen, a fancy car, all these things are communicating. How you look at others communicates. And all day long, we are communicating non-verbally. All day long. You can look in on your child as they sleep, and you can tell if they're having a nightmare or if they're sleeping soundly. As you sit there, and now I'm starting to see some of you, you're giving information up, even as I'm giving information up. You're assessing me. If I can speak to you from an anthropological standpoint, I am transmitting information about myself, my beliefs, the things that I value, even as you are. Now that I can see you a little clearer, how many of you were dressed by your parents today? Raise your hand. Wow. Spouses, that's okay. Your spouses can dress. Yeah. So you chose to dress the way you did, even as I chose to dress the way I did. They said, well, it's TED Talks, you can dress down. I said, you know, I was in the FBI for 25 years. I don't know how else to dress. It would be such a disappointment. It's like, on TV, they always have suits, even when they're walking through the marsh. It's true. I can't tell you how many crime scenes I went through that ruined really inexpensive suits. But we look good. But we look good. I guess humor is allowed. And so all day long, we're making choices. We're making choices. They're based on culture. They're based on peer pressure, on personal preferences. And so the things we wear and attach to ourselves are transmitting, our bodies are transmitting information. And the question that I'm often asked is, well, how authentic is it? How authentic is it? And as I pondered this, I said, you know what? What if we think of the power of nonverbal communication? But let's do it by taking the myths out of it and plugging in what really values, what really is of value when it comes to nonverbals. How many of you have had a bad handshake? Now normally, of course now we have the coronavirus, I would have you turn to each other and give each other a handshake that's really bad. But I'm not going to do that. I want you to just put your hand in front of you and pretend to give someone a bad handshake. Ready? Let's do it. Let's do it, do it, do it. Yeah. Yeah, good. Do you realize the funny faces you make? It's like, I didn't ask you to make a funny face, and yet you did. Why is that? Because you're human. And humans betray what we feel, what we think, what we desire, what we intend, what makes us anxious, and what we fear. And we do it in real time. We don't have to wait 20 minutes. It happens now. And our body language, in a way, it's exquisite Because there's an area of the brain that is elegant. And it's elegant because it takes shortcuts. It doesn't think. If I bring in a Bengal tiger here and walk it around, nobody sits around and waves at it. That's like, you know, eat me. No. Everybody freezes. And that's because of the limbic system. This rather primitive area of the brain that reacts to the world doesn't have to think about the world. And everything that comes from the limbic brain is so authentic. You hear a loud noise and you freeze, right? What was that? You get bad news or you see something on TV and you cover your mouth. What is that? When the conquistadores arrived in the New World,
in a world filled with distractions, bullet journaling offers a simple, human way to stay.
They didn't have any problem finding out who was in authority. The same behaviors that they had just left in Queen Isabella's court, they saw in the New World. The king sat higher, had better clothing, had an entourage. Okay, they didn't have their own show on television, but pretty close. So all these behaviors are very authentic because the limbic system resides within that human brain. It's part of our paleo circuits. And so when we see the furrowed forehead on a baby that's 3 weeks old, we know that this little area called the glabella, something is wrong. There's an issue. When we see the bunny nose, right? When you wrinkle the nose, yeah, we know what that means. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't want that. Don't want that. Ew, right? Did I just say that in public? When we squint, we're focusing, but we have concerns. When the eyelids close, you want me to do what? And if things are really bad, you want me to talk for 15 minutes? Here's what's interesting. Children who are born blind, when they don't like things they don't like, hear things they don't like, they don't cover their ears, they cover their eyes. They've never seen. This is millions of years old. Smiles are important. In our mouths, the lips begin to disappear when we're stressed, right? Most politicians look something like that. And right before they're indicted, they look like that. Dramatic lip pulls, jaw shifting, covering of the neck. You've seen that, clutching of the pearls. They go, there's that creep. Oh, he's gone now. He's back. But did you know why? Large felines. We have seen large felines for so long taking down prey that we immediately cover our necks. How many of you have been told that you can detect deception by the use of nonverbals? I'm here to clear that up. When you leave here today and you say, well, I heard that Navarro fellow, and he did about 13,000 interviews in the FBI. He said there is no Pinocchio effect. There's not one single behavior indicative of deception. Not one.
Welcome to Muse Writer. Let me walk you through your very first manuscript, start to opening page.
And we mustn't propagate that. We must not tell people that we can detect that they're lying because of behaviors. They may be anxious, they may be stressed, but not deceptive. How many of you have been told that if you cross your arms, that you're blocking people away? Have you heard that? There's a clinical term for that. It's called crap. Yeah, I said it. Get over it. It's crap. It's a self-hug. You're comfortable? Yeah. Where does this nonsense come from? You know, I'm asked the question often, so, you know, Joe, you were a spy catcher, you use nonverbals every day. What do you use it for? To make sure people are comfortable. To make sure that we are empathetic. The only way to be truly empathetic is by understanding nonverbals. Carl Sagan, the famous cosmologist, said, "Who are we? What are we?" You think about that. It really takes a smart person to ask that question. What are we in this universe? And he summed it up this way, and I think it's rather exquisite. He said, all we are is the sum total of our influence on others. That's all we are. It's not how much you earn. It's not how many cars you have. It's our influence on each other. And what's interesting is that the primary way that we influence each other is through nonverbals. It's that nice handshake. It's a pat on the shoulder. It's that touch of the hand. It is that behavior that communicates love in a way that words simply can't do it. When you leave here, you're going to have choices. You always have choices. You have free agency. And one of the things that you should think about is, how do I change my nonverbals? How do I become that person of influence? Because if there's one thing we need in this world, it's truly to be more empathetic. And so when I see
All right, I think the students who were having another class, they've started to join in. I just played a TED talk for you to listen to about nonverbal cues, same nonverbal cues that you attempted a class activity on. Anyway, other than that, I've posted your scores in your announcement section. You can check. Um, and I've also sent you a video निदा से शेयर की गई है, वो उसने आपको फॉरवर्ड कर दी की होगी. इसमें clearly बताया गया है कि how these scores have been divided. If not, I can show it to you quickly so that you know कि किस header में कितने score आपको दिए गए हैं. ठीक है? Take a look at this so that you understand. This is the video that I'm referring to. अब देखें, पहले कोर्स में जो आपने जो मुझे एक्टिविटी दी है, this was conducted on 15th of May. It was a class activity, speaking activity on presentation preparation. वो जो कुछ लोगों ने ऑन कैंपस भी दी थी, तो उसका स्कोर ये क्विज 1 में लगा हुआ है. ठीक है? On the contrary, the quiz 2 is about homophones. ठीक है? Quiz 3 is story opening. वो जो क्विज आपने recently दिया है, वो 2 मार्क्स का था, तो वो स्कोर यहाँ लगा हुआ है. Quiz 4 is that non-verbal cues activities that you submitted on 20th of May. जबकि वो quiz होना था, लेकिन हमने class activity ले ली थी. And the fifth one is जो हमारा पहला quiz हुआ था 23rd of Feb को. तो आपके जो quiz का total score है बेटे, that will be 15 marks. उसमें से आप score दे सकते हैं. फिर 4 assignments हैं. Assignment number 1 is um, speech activity. Then the second one is compare and contrast paragraph जो था. और थर्ड वन जो थी स्टोरी राइटिंग थी, और फोर्थ वन उसी स्टोरी पे प्रेजेंटेशन थी. तो इस तरह से आप तीनों क्लासेस का जो स्कोर है वो ऐसे फाइनलाइज कर दिया गया. ठीक है? अब स्कोर जो है आप अपने रिस्पेक्टिव LMS पे देख सकते हैं. यू कैन सी द स्कोर्स. द शीट हैज बीन अपडेटेड. यू मे चेक देयर. As far as your course is concerned, what to focus, what will be there, you should focus on lecture number 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 24, 28, 29, and 30. Basically, I'm not supposed to tell you that these lectures should be focused. That is unethical. But because आप में से बहुत सारे लोगों के पास बहुत सारे सब्जेक्ट्स हैं, so इसलिए I'm telling you only verbally over here. I'm not going to post about it anywhere. So you have to note it down. Um, besides that, our course is
मैम
always connected. ठीक है, कोर्स हमेशा कनेक्टेड होता है, ऐसा नहीं होता कि पिछली बात पूरी छोड़ दें तो अगली बात चल जाएगी। यस प्लीज।
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम मेरे असाइनमेंट मैंने सारी की हैं लेकिन एक में 0 नंबर लगे हुए हैं सेकंड में।
आप कौन सी डिग्री से हैं?
मैं नदीम अली खान बीएस जियो फिजिक्स।
जियो फिजिक्स, एक मिनट। अच्छा, स्क्रीन पे देखें बेटे नदीम, मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ, एक सेकंड। लेट मी लॉग इन, फिर मैं आपको बताती हूँ। ठीक है नदीम, मैं इसको देख लेती हूँ। यस यू हैव सबमिटेड, ये किसी तरह मिस हो गई है तो मैं ऐड कर देती हूँ इसको, ठीक है।
ओके मैम।
और बेटे
मैम
ऐसे किसी और का कोई इशू है तो अभी बता दे। जी बेटे।
अभी जो आपने लेक्चर्स का बताया आपने जरा रिपीट कर सकती है कौन कौन से लेक्चर्स का भी जो आपने बताया?
14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 24, 28, 29 and 30.
السلام عليكم مام. Show me my score, ma'am.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
Show me my score, ma'am. I'm Yunus.
Your score has been posted. Momin will help you look at it. Momin, could you please help him? Is Momin in the class? No. Okay. Okay, Eunice, your score is in quizzes out of 15, you have 12 marks, and in assignments, you have 12 out of 20 marks. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. अच्छा बेटे, कोर्स से रिलेटेड कोई क्वेश्चन हो, कोई क्लैरिटी इशू हो तो वो पूछ लें। If you need to ask any question regarding course content or any topic that you think needs to be revised or retold, please let me know.
मैम फाइनल का पैटर्न क्या होगा और मिड्स मिड्स वाला तो नहीं आएगा मेरे ख्याल में।
बहुत कम, like I told you, some lecture numbers उस पे focus करें, but unfortunately our subject is designed in a way that you cannot completely rely on just studying the future or the post mid course content. For example, अगर comprehension passage है तो वो mid से पहले भी था, mid के बाद भी है, और short story जो है वो भी है, उसमें भी उस तरह के questions हो सकते हैं। Pattern simple है, you have 4 question, 10 marks each.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
Anybody else? Any other question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope everybody has been able to join in. As you know that we are heading towards approaching the end of the semester, and these few last classes are very important for you to grasp the ideas and the concepts that we are going to discuss because they are a major part of your uh, final term examination. On Wednesday, you did not come back because you were part of some kind of conference or some seminar, but we did talk about presentation skills and 4 P's of presentation skills. I'll just continue with the same discussion. We'll just pick up from the same. I hope you remember that the 4 P's are the preparation, planning, practice, and presentation. These 4 P's are very important. Every language skill has a process. Just like writing process was there, reading process was there, so is this one, that is speaking process in terms of presentation. Even if you're doing public speaking, classroom speaking, or mass speaking, you will be utilizing these 4 P's in one way or another. And there are certain techniques and ways through which you have to go about it. The material has been posted in your Google, not Google, your LMS, and I'll show you that what you need to focus and how you're going to, discuss it in detail. Now, presentation skills, as you know, are an important skill that you need to possess when you're part of academia, when you're part of university, when you're part of the degree that you're doing at the moment. Both these chapters that I've posted, they talk about these major aspects that you need to be able to follow. I'll just quickly show you the same material. It's from a university, Institute of Engineering and Technology, and we'll just take a look at those basic 4 P's of presentation skills that we should be remembering and knowing while attempting it in the final examination. This is the material that I'm referring to, the presentation skills, right? They are important because they help keep a presentation interesting, and the presenter can communicate with confidence. And of course, it requires creativity, variety, and optimal audibility. The other day, when you were, reciting or stating your stories, there were so many of you who do possess loud voices, but when it came to presenting your story in front of the class, your voice was not audible enough. I have the feedback with me. I'll share that feedback with you as well. अब में से बहुत सारे बच्चे जब कोई ऑफ टॉपिक बात हो, कोई नॉन पढ़ाई वाली बात हो, तो you guys have clear loud voices, but when it comes to presenting a topic or a point of view, then your voice is not there. So audibility is one of the key aspects of becoming a good presenter. You have to master your presentation. You have to have a confidence in yourself. You don't have to work a lot or put your heart into the matter and turning your PowerPoint slides to be the perfect one. No, that should not be your goal. Your goal should be aiming at the presentation, the deliverance of the presentation. Another important aspect is that practice, practice, practice. The more practice you do, you will move towards a better result, right? The deliverance will become better. The more practice you done. Now, there are many ways through which you can practice. You can practice with your own self. You can practice in front of a mirror. You can practice by recording yourself on your mobile phone. And of course, you can self-assess yourself that this is the point where I can work. This is the point where I can improve. यहाँ भी ये बात हो सकती है और etc. Then you have to be audience oriented. It's almost the same that we studied in public speaking and speech. Both में हमने यही बात की कि audience oriented होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. The material that you're going to provide them with should be clear enough, should be suitable for the age group that you're targeting. Other than that, of course, do not be late to your presentation. These days, this is my personal experience with the students, that they do not take it too seriously. For them, everything is um a little less serious as compared to the senior students that I teach. क्योंकि बच्चे में थोड़ी सी multi-dimensionality hai. They are focused on so many things all the time that they are not arriving at the venue early. Now, why do you need to arrive at the venue early? So that if there is a mishap that is going to happen, if it's a place that you're visiting for the very first time, so you have to take charge of that situation beforehand. So early arrival at the venue can help you win that battle which could have been there. Then think positively. If you think positively, you will be saving yourself from a disaster. If you think that you can do it, then you'll be able to do it. And if you fear it, then there is a possibility that you might fail at it. तो जिस तरह से आपको अपने आप को मेंटली प्रिपेयर्ड रखना है. आई कांटेक्ट इज इक्वली इम्पोर्टेंट. आपने देखा होगा जब आपके क्लासमेट्स प्रेजेंट कर रहे थे तो कुछ सिर्फ मेरी तरफ देख रहे थे, कुछ सीलिंग की तरफ देख रहे थे, कुछ सिर्फ अपने फ्रेंड्स की तरफ देख रहे थे और कुछ ने आंखें नीचे की हुई थी. द बेस्ट केस इज दैट यू लुक एट एवरीबडी. डू नॉट बी फिक्सेटेड ऑन शूज और ऑन अ सर्टेन पर्सन. यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट you are addressing to the entire audience. Sense of humor is important, being flexible is important, but that does not mean that you do it out of proportion. You have to make sure कि आप इतना ही मजाक करें जितना आप handle कर सकें और contain कर सकें. Be confident, do not be afraid. Pause every now and then. Do not speak in a fluent way. इतना भी fluency में सबक की तरह मत पड़ जाएं कि वो presentation ना लगे. You can engage with your audiences and stop making excuses. When you're already making excuses long before you haven't even started your presentation, then you're setting yourself up for a failure. You might have come across presenters जो कहते हैं कि इतना तो मुझे आता नहीं है पर अगर मैं आपको जितना आता है वो बता दूं. इस तरह की बातें, इस तरह की लूज टॉक करने में नुकसान क्या है? What disadvantages can come your way? I can tell you few. If you tell your audience that you're not prepared and the topic is not so much fun, then automatically you're giving it up. You're telling the audiences not to be interested in you. So you're going to make sure that you're not loose talking and you're not making any unnecessary excuses to the audiences. And then, of course, study other presenters, what better they have, and you can learn from them. And the improving your presentation skill is not going to happen overnight. It would require a lot of work. It would require a lot of time that you need to spend with it. Another जो आपका जो chapter that can help you understand presentation skill is this one that is based on AV aids. यानी visual ऑडियो विजुअल एड्स होते हैं बट यहाँ पर मोस्टली विजुअल एड्स की बात हो रही है. जैसे कि राइट नाउ आई एम यूजिंग अ विजुअल एड. ऑफ कोर्स वी आर टॉकिंग टू ईच अदर ऑनलाइन, सो देयरफॉर वी आर यूजिंग दिस ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म एज वेल. बट यू कैन नॉट ओनली लिसन टू माई वॉइस बट लुक एट द मटीरियल एज वेल. तो यही आपको लेकर चलना है. What are the objectives of the chapter? The essentials of presentation, um, how to prepare the presentation, how to make outline, using of signposting, using of signaling, and all of these things. Okay. Acha bete, somebody is trying to join with the name that I'm not familiar with. Could you please leave a message in your respective groups for the students to join with their official name? ठीक है, अपने नाम से ही join करें. Do not join with another name. Then we have introduction to the presentation that you can read at your own. Now, reading, making a good impression is important. Now, read the following text on presentation and answer the following questions below. The first few minutes of the presentation are very precious and crucial. If you fail to arrest the attention of your audiences in the beginning, you may lose it forever. You make your first impression even before you have opened your mouth to speak. It has got to do with the way you look and carry yourself. Your dress needs to be neat, smart, and appropriate to the occasion. It is mostly formal for presentation. The next thing to pay attention to would be your gait and your posture, your body language. So your body communicates different impressions to the audience. People not only listen to you, they also watch you. Slouching tells them that you are indifferent or you do not care, even though you are you might care a great deal. On the other hand, displaying good posture tells your audience that you're interested. ठीक है? While you need to be upright and look confident, you may need to guard against looking too stiff and uncomfortable. The key is to look relaxed and comfortable and at ease with your surroundings. Reaching the venue of your presentation will in time could be immensely helpful in getting you to be comfortable with the place. Eye contact is another crucial factor. It signals that you are interested in the audience, and the audience also get interested in you. So do not keep your eyes away from the audience. Do not shy away. Always make eye contact. ठीक है? The expression you wear on your face transmit a great deal. A smile is a contagious phenomenon. इसलिए स्माइल करना, अपने फेशियल मसल्स को रिलैक्स रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Do not make them too stiff. Voice modulation is equally important. It is a tool that you're utilizing in your write-up. तो उसमें भी you have to make sure कि आप बहुत ज़्यादा excited भी मत sound करें और बहुत ज़्यादा जी आप dull भी sound ना करें. Your voice is probably the most valuable tool that you possess. ठीक है? It's a vehicle. It's your pitch and tone of the areas that modulates your voice. So कहाँ पर glide करना है, कहाँ पर you know ऊंचा बोलना है, कहाँ पे pause लेना है, that should be your prerogative of consideration. Lastly, do not forget the audience will forgive a lot if the speaker is enthusiastic. If you're interested and enthused, you will pass this at your own, and the listeners would be interested in you. But if you're too loud or dull, जैसे उस दिन एक बच्चा presentation दे रहे थे, तो वो properly अपना जो माउथ की आर्टिकुलेशन है, वर्ड्स को भी प्रॉपरली अटर नहीं कर रहे थे, बिकॉज ही वाज सो स्कैर्ड ऑफ द ऑडियंस, और मे बी ही वाज ओवरवेल्म्ड. तो उसको आपने देखना है. चेक योर प्रोग्रेस में कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं. पिक द सेंटेंस दैट बेस्ट डिस्क्राइब्स द थीम ऑफ द पैसेज मैंने आपको पढ़ दिया है. टेल मी व्हाट द आंसर इज. क्वालिटीज ऑफ अ गुड प्रेजेंटेशन, क्वालिटीज ऑफ अ गुड प्रेजेंटर, द रोल ऑफ द ऑडियंस. इस पैराग्राफ का जो हमने अभी पढ़ा है, जो सेक्शन पढ़ा है, आंसर क्या बनता है? हम्म? जी बेटे, I'm still waiting for your answer.
Ma'am, we gave in the chat.
Okay. Check. Qualities of a good presenter. All right. ठीक है. Then we have state whether the following statements are true or false. Mark does not say for statements that the passage does not deal with. ठीक है. तो आपके पास 3 किस्म की statements हैं. True and false and does not say या not included. The speaker must reach the venue on time. चलिए, ये तो बहुत आसान है, ये आप खुद भी कर सकते हैं. ये चैप्टर अवेलेबल है. यू शुड टॉक अबाउट, यू शुड अटेम्प्ट दीज. बट पेपर में बेटे एमसीक्यूज या ट्रू एंड फॉल्स ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, लेकिन यू कैन टेक अ लुक एट इट. देन कम्स द प्रेजेंटेशन की जो स्ट्रक्चरिंग है. सेम स्ट्रक्चर है. वी हैव बिगनिंग, मिडल एंड एंडिंग. In the beginning, you introduce yourself, you tell about what is the purpose, what are you going to talk about, you probably should give a brief or outline of your entire talk. Then middle में, of course, do not overburden the pointers. Do not provide audiences with overcognition. Use signposting, use visuals. Instead of reading from the material blankly, use information this way, जैसे यहाँ पर बनी हुई है. And then the ending is there. Then progress है. अब जब आप ending करते हैं या जो transition markers आप use कर सकते हैं, these are some of those that are written. For example, to conclude, you can use in conclusion, to sum up. ठीक है? To summarize the main points of my talk, I would like to conclude by telling you this or that. Thank you all for listening, and this is my conclusion. तो ये जो expressions हैं आप इनको देख सकते हैं. फिर एक activity दी हुई है. Prepare a 5 minutes presentation on how to prepare for a good job interview, keeping in mind the structure suggested above. You may use the following points or include points of your own. The importance of proper, adequate preparation for a job interview, knowledge of the company. ठीक है? So go ahead. आपको अभी 2:55 हो रहे हैं. I can give you 20 minutes to prepare this 5-minute presentation. You can take help from different places. You should be using these transition markers. This box should be used in your speech. Then one by one, you'll unmute yourself and you can come on the mic and talk about how you prepared your presentation. तो उसमें जैसे हमने अभी बात की थी ना 4 P's की बात
मैम
की थी
स्टूडेंट्स
और
वेट कर रहे हैं उनको
कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स की बात की थी तो वो आपने बताना है. आप क्या कह रहे हो बेटे?
मैम स्टूडेंट्स वेट कर रहे हैं वाइज है तलहा है उनको इन कर दो
मैंने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया बेटे सबको. हो सकता है समटाइम्स ज्वाइन होते टाइम लगता है, हो रहा होगा. ठीक है, तो एक्टिविटी देखें. प्रिपेयर अ 5-minute प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन हाउ टू प्रिपेयर फॉर अ जॉब इंटरव्यू. ये आपका प्रॉम्प्ट है और ये आपके गाइडिंग पॉइंट्स हैं. ठीक है, इनको पढ़ लीजिए एंड गो अहेड मेक वन. ठीक है, 20 मिनट्स हैं आपके पास. आई एम कनेक्टेड. मीनवाइल इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस आप पूछ भी सकते हैं. अच्छा, ये जो मटेरियल है जो मैं आपसे शेयर कर रही हूँ, मैं आपको लेक्चर नंबर बता देती हूँ. लेक्चर नंबर 24 में ये स्लाइड या ये चैप्टर अवेलेबल है. उसको ओपन करके इस एक्सरसाइज को आप अटेम्प्ट कर सकते हैं.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम मैम, प्लीज़ एक दफ़ा क्वेश्चन रिपीट कीजिएगा, मैं भी आया हूँ तो प्लीज़ बताइएगा।
Mutahar can guide you. Beta Mutahar, please guide him.
मैम तलहा कह रहा है कि अभी तक वो इन नहीं हुआ, वो वेट कर रहा है।
Beta request ही नहीं है. He probably is trying. Maybe his net is not working. मुझे तो request ही नहीं मिली ना उनकी.
मैम इनके लिए जरा एक बार फिर से मैम रिपीट कर दें, इनमें से ज्यादातर को नहीं पता, किसी ने अभी ज्वाइन किया है।
बेटे आप बता दें, वी आर वेटिंग। ये मैंने आपसे कहा ना, आप गाइड करेंगे। चले शाबाश, करें गाइड। जी मुताहिर बेटे, वी आर वेटिंग।
मैम इनको मैं ग्रुप में बता रहा हूँ।
यहाँ बता दो ना, यहाँ पे भी तो कनेक्टेड है सारे, मुझे भी तो पता चले। चलो समझाओ शाबाश।
अच्छा, हमने जो है ना मैम प्रेजेंटेशन तैयार करनी है, जो मतलब आपने जिस तरह से प्रेजेंटेशन के बारे में बताया ना कि इसमें मतलब क्या क्या करना होगा, तो उस तरह से हमने 5 मिनट की प्रेजेंटेशन तैयार करनी है फॉर अ जॉब इंटरव्यू। तो जो भी स्ट्रक्चर वगैरह होगा वो जो आपने पढ़ाया उस तरह से मतलब तैयार करना है। फिर हर एक बंदा अपनी अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन देगा।
बिल्कुल, और टॉपिक बस आप सबका यही है दैट यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर द जॉब इंटरव्यू। और स्ट्रक्चर आपने वही इंट्रोडक्शन, मिडल एंड कंक्लूजन रखना है। और जब आप अपना प्रेजेंटेशन बता रहे हैं, यानी आपने एक ऑडियंस को बताना है कि जॉब इंटरव्यू के लिए कैसे प्रिपरेशन करते हैं, तो उसमें आप इन सवालों के जवाब दे सकते हैं या इन पॉइंटर्स को माइंड में रख सकते हैं। द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ प्रॉपर एंड एडिक्वेट प्रिपरेशन फॉर जॉब इंटरव्यू, उसमें क्या क्या एडेड होता है, ये आपकी प्रेजेंटेशन का हिस्सा होगी। Knowledge of the company that you are going to tell in your presentation that one should know, or pre-research about the company that they are willing to work with. जहाँ वो इंटरव्यू देने जा रहे हैं उस कंपनी के बारे में पता करके जाएं। एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ द जॉब रिक्वायरमेंट्स एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज, यानी जो जेडीज होती हैं कि क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स हैं और क्या जो जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन है, उसकी एक क्लैरिटी आपके पास ऑलरेडी होनी चाहिए, जो आप एडवर्टाइजमेंट से या उनकी वेबसाइट से या जहाँ पे भी अवेलेबल देख सकते हैं। देन पॉसिबल क्वेश्चंस जो हो सकते हैं, उनकी पॉसिबल आंसर्स कहीं पे आप जॉट डाउन कर सकते हैं। तो इन्हीं चीज़ों के बारे में आपने बस ये बताना है। ईच इंडिविजुअल,
मैम अब
ऑफ कोर्स सबके टॉपिक तो सेम ही है ना, लेकिन जिस तरह से आप अपने टॉक को स्ट्रक्चर करोगे वो डिफरेंट हो सकता है। इसमें आप ट्रांजिशन मार्कर्स भी यूज करेंगे, इसमें आप फर्स्टली, सेकेंडली, थर्डली भी यूज कर सकते हैं, इन कंक्लूजन भी यूज कर सकते हैं, ये सारे वर्ड्स भी यूज हो। हाँ बेटे क्या कह रहे हो?
मैम अभी मतलब जिस तरह जॉब प्रेजेंटेशन है, वो जॉब को भी मेंशन करना है या बस मतलब
बना ले,
मैं किस।
मतलब यू कैन गिव अ कंपनी अ नेम। मतलब अगर आप चाहते हैं कोई स्पेसिफिक डिटेलिंग उसके साथ अटैच करना चाहते हैं तो कर दें।
ओके। मैम। हेलो।
जी जी।
मैम, मैंने ये पूछ रहा था कि इसमें हमने ये चीज़ लिखनी है कि कैसे हम जॉब इंटरव्यू के लिए या कंपनी के लिए जो पहुंच रहे हैं उनके लिए प्रिपेयर करें, या फिर हमने कोई एक सिनेरियो बनाना है जिसमें हम जॉब इंटरव्यू के लिए जा रहे हैं इस चीज़ का।
Okay, I could hear you partially. What I've understood by your question is कि करना क्या है? वही बात है कि you guys join late casually, तो problem होती है. Listen to this once and for all. You just have to prepare a presentation that is meant for the students, for the people who are going to go, who are going to prepare for a job interview. ठीक है? उस स्ट्रक्चर के बीच में आप ये सारे क्वेश्चंस का आंसर दे सकते हैं कि वो जब प्रिपरेशन करें व्हेन दे आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर अ जॉब इंटरव्यू, सो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ research, what kind of requirement, responsibilities, possible questions they need to prepare, how they should be prepared, ये बताना है. While doing so, you have to use transition markers as well.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू।
मैम एक क्वेश्चन पूछना है कि इसकी स्टार्ट लेने का वे थोड़ा सा बताएंगे मैम को एग्जांपल।
जैसे आप एक प्रेजेंटेशन देने लगते हैं, आपका एक टॉपिक होता है, उसी तरह से स्टार्ट करेंगे ना. आपका टॉपिक आपको समझ आ गया है. You just have to tell the audience that what you're going to talk about. जैसे जो स्ट्रक्चर था अभी जब हम ऊपर पढ़ भी रहे थे, उसमें हमारे पास इंट्रोडक्शन में हम क्या क्या बताते हैं वो बताएंगे. मिडिल में
हेलो
आप ये सारी.
मैम।
हम्म. ओके एवरीवन, आई थिंक 20 मिनट्स से ऊपर हो गए हैं. लेट्स स्टार्ट. ठीक है, तो क्या करना है, कौन स्टार्ट करेगा? हु वुड लाइक टू स्टार्ट? ठीक है, हमारा जो स्ट्रक्चर था ना, स्ट्रक्चर तो यही है कि आप स्ट्रक्चर में अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन में ये सारी चीजें बताएंगे. टॉपिक बेटे आप लोगों का ये है, तो वन बाय वन आप स्टार्ट खुद ही कर लीजिए. आई विल नॉट बी टेकिंग योर नेम्स. जो कर लेगा गुड, उसका आई नोट सम, मैं उसको नोट कर लूंगी एंड आई सी वेयर आई कैन अकोमोडेट द स्कोर्स फॉर इट. चलिए प्लीज व्हेन यू कम प्लीज, ऑफ कोर्स इंट्रोडक्शन में आप अपना नाम बताएंगे तो अपनी डिग्री भी बता दीजिएगा. देन इट विल बी इजी फॉर मी टू मेक नोट्स. जी बेटा.
मैम पॉइंट्स तो दिखा दें काइंडली।
दिखा दिए बेटे, ये दीज आर द पॉइंट्स. देखिए इसमें आप ये लैंग्वेज यूज करोगे और ये पॉइंट्स होंगे.
ओके मैम। ओके, थैंक यू।
हम्म. आप ये अपने एंड पे ओपन भी कर सकते हैं. मैंने शुरू में ही कहा था यू गाइस शुड ओपन इट एट योर एंड. जी बेटे, हु इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट? जल्दी करें, टाइम नहीं है बेटे, फिर मैंने आपको आगे भी बताना है कुछ. to tell you something more. So hurry up, please.
मैम मैं क्वेश्चन पूछना है मैम।
Mm-hmm.
मैम बिल्कुल जो स्टार्ट लेना है, बिल्कुल जो फर्स्ट स्टार्ट लेना है, तो वो एक बंदा एम्प्लॉय जो है वो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन देके स्टार्ट करे या समथिंग कुछ डिफरेंट से स्टार्ट हो?
I think, Bete, you did not understand the assignment at all. It's okay, not the first time. Um, it's not about the employee, it's about you. You're going to address an audience and you're going to tell them that how to prepare for a job interview. So the introduction would
Okay.
be about you, not somebody else. This is the structure. ठीक है, जिसने देखिए beginning में you introduce yourself, then you state the purpose of your presentation, then the subject matter, the prompt that has been given to you clarify it to the audience. You try to make a connection with the audience, and then you give a brief outline that in my presentation there are 4 pointers that I'm going to discuss. The pointers have been told to you already. These are the pointers in bullet points, and then you have to go about it. Then in the middle you can talk about 3 to 4 points, extensively. Of course, you're not going to use any signposting and visuals because you're going to do it verbally. And then you can end it with reiterating to the point of views that you started in your middle in the argumentation and finish it. ठीक है? जी बेटे, who's going
Okay,
to
ma'am.
start? जल्दी से जो start करने वाला है।
Ma'am, should I?
जी बेटी जी।
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, please, you're audible.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Nida Bangash, and today I'm going to give a presentation on how to prepare for a job interview. A job interview is a very important step in getting a job. If we prepare properly, we can feel more confident and perform better during the interview. First of all, presentation is very important because it helps reduce nervousness. A well prepared person can answer questions clearly and create a good impression on the interviewer. Preparation also increases the chances of getting selected for the job. Secondly, before going for an interview, we should have knowledge about the company. We should know what the company does, its services, and its goals. This shows that we are serious and interested in working there. Another important point is understanding the job requirements and responsibilities. We should carefully read the job advertisement and understand what skills and qualifications are needed. This helps us explain why we are suitable for this position. Um, we should also prepare for possible interview questions like what the interviewer is going to ask, like questions like tell me about yourself, why do you want this job, and what are your strengths and weaknesses. Practicing such questions can improve our confidence and communication skills. In addition to this, we should decide what questions we would like to ask the interviewer. For example, we can ask about working hours of the job, the responsibilities of job, or opportunities for growth in the company. Asking questions shows confidence and professionalism. Another important thing is our dress code. On the day of the interview, we should wear neat, clean, and professional clothes because first impressions are very important. In conclusion, proper presentation is the key to success in a job interview. Researching the company, understanding the job, practicing questions, and dressing professionally can help us perform confidently and increase our chances of getting hired. Thank you.
Good, very good. Ji, next. Nida, which degree
Ma'am,
are
may
you
I?
from?
Environmental sciences.
Okay, yes. जी बेटे,
Can
आज.
I start?
Yes, please.
Good morning, everyone. I, Bushra Rafiq, is here to tell you about how to prepare for a good job interview effectively. Firstly, proper presentation is very important for a job interview. When we prepare well, we feel more confident, organized, and less nervous. Presentation also creates a good impression on the interviewer. Secondly, it is important to have knowledge about the company. Before going to the interview, we should research the company's background, goals, services, and achievement. This shows our interest and seriousness about the job. After that, we should understand the job requirements and responsibilities mentioned in the advertisement. We should know what skills and qualities the company is looking for. Let's move on to the possible interview question. We should prepare answers for common questions such as tell me about yourself, why do you want this job, and what are your strengths. Practicing these answers can improve our confidence and communication skills. Another important point is deciding what we would like to ask the interview. For example, we can ask about working hours, training opportunities, or future growth in the company. Asking good questions shows professionalism and interest. And finally, dress code plays an important role on the day of the interview. We should wear clean, neat, and formal clothes because our appearance creates the first impression. To sum up, success in a job interview depends upon good preparation, confidence, proper communication, and professional behavior. Thank you for all listening.
Okay, next. Which degree are you from, Bushra?
Environmental science.
Ma'am,
ठीक है
मैं जा-
can I? Can I?
मैम
जी
कैन
बेटे
आई
जी आयमा स्टार्ट करें आयमा
मैम मैंने करना था
My
ठीक है
Assalamualaikum everyone.
आयमा के बाद मुतहर बेटे आप कर लेना चलो
Assalamualaikum. My name is Amatul Mania, and today the topic of my presentation is how to prepare for a job interview. So basically, the very first thing is the importance of proper preparation. As we all know, first impressions are the last impression, so we should be prepared for the interview, as preparations boost your confidence and reduces anxiety. Secondly, we should know the knowledge about the company. Like before going into an interview, we should know what the company mission is and like what kind of product and services they are providing, so that we can see where they stand in the industry. Okay, the next thing is understanding the job requirement. Basically, we should read the article or advertisement of the job very carefully so that we can see if we are capable or if we have the skill that they need or not. Okay, then the next thing we have is preparing for possible questions. Before going into an interview, we should practice common questions like tell me about yourself or what are our strengths, weakness, so that if we prepare answer that are we should prepare for we should prepare answers that are concise, honest, and basically they are relevant to the question that the interviewer asks from us. Uh, the the second last thing is the dress code. We should search that what the company culture is, what their formal is, or what kind of dresses they approve. We should ensure that our clothes are clean, iron, and they're well fitted. That was all from us. I thank you so much.
Can I start?
जी मुतहर बेटे अब मुतहर की बारी फिर आपसे ले लेते हैं अच्छा आयमा कौन सी डिग्री है बेटे
Yes, ma'am. BSc, yes.
ठीक है जी मुतहर
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Tahar Abbas. I will present you to how to prepare for a job interview. Did you know that most candidates fail interview not because they lack skills, but because they lack preparation? Today, I would like to talk about how we can prepare ourselves effectively for a job interview. I will begin with why preparation matters. Imagine walking into an interview room without knowing anything about the company. You would feel nervous and confused. Proper preparation help you build confidence, organize your thoughts, answer questions clearly. Knowing the company, now let's turn to the company itself. Before attending an interview, you should research what the company does, its values and mission, its recent achievements. For example, if you are applying to a tech company, you should understand its product and services. This shows that you are genuinely interested, not just looking for any job. Understanding the job rule. That brings me to understanding the job description. Many students apply for jobs without carefully reading the advertisement. You must understand what skills are required, what responsibilities you will have, what experience is needed. Then prepare examples from your life that match those requirements. Practicing interview question. Let's move on the interview question. Common question include: tell me about yourself. Why should we hire you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Practice answering these confidently. You can rehear in the front of a mirror or record yourself. Your appearance matter. Finally, your appearance plays an important role. Even before you speak, the interviewer notices your dress, your posture, your confidence. Wear neat and professional clothes. First impressions are powerful. Conclusion. In conclusion, success in a job interview is not about luck, it is about preparation. If you research the company, understand the role, practice your answer, and present yourself professionally, you greatly increase your chance of success. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts.
Ma'am, can I take a turn?
Yes, Uzma, go ahead. मुतहर कौन सी डिग्री बेटे? बताया करें ना साथ साथ, इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं सुनते आप लोग, प्लीज अपने नाम के साथ अपनी डिग्री भी बताएं. मुतहर, which degree is it?
Environmental sciences.
जी ठीक है. उज़मा, आप कौन सी डिग्री से बेटे?
Environmental science, ma'am.
जी बेटे, go ahead.
Hello everyone, I'm Uzma, a student of environmental science, and now it's my turn to talk about how to prepare a good job interview. As we all know that job interviews are kind of formal meetings, and these are one of the main elements of our professional life. So these demonstrate our personality, skills, abilities, and suitability for job. And you obviously know that if we got a good preparation for the interview, we will definitely get the job that we are willing to do. So for getting a job, we should follow some kind of tips or tricks to get a good preparation for the job interviews. So first and foremost is to trust yourself. Be confident. Just don't be skeptical about yourself. Don't overthink in a sense that you deserve this job or not. Just be confident about yourself. Second thing is get some knowledge about the job or your company. The job you are applying for will definitely consist of some kind of rules or regulations, requirements, values, or kind of achievements. So you should get some knowledge about it. This point will show the interviewer that you are really interested and serious about your job, and this will definitely help you to prepare good for your interview. After that, third thing is prepare yourself for the question and queries that you can ask for. So prepare yourself about it. After that, you should follow the dress code. Since the job interviews are kind of formal meetings, so you should follow the formal dress code that should be neat and clean and elegant. After that, when you reach at the spot, at the interview spot, and your interview just got started, you should follow your body language rules. Just be confident there, be relaxed, smile, and speak politely. And when the interview is getting wind up, and if you have some queries and questions, just ask the interviewer about it and clear your mind and clear yourself by asking it. So, in conclusion, I'll just conclude my presentation by quoting a line that goes: "By failing to prepare, you are preparing yourself to fail." That was all about from my side. Thank you.
Okay, so the last sentence that Uzma used, it's very important for planning preparation
And
perspective. You can remember it by, when you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. This is usually taught in the educational trainings and everything. हाँ बेटे क्या कह रहे हो अब बताओ.
मैं करूँ next?
मैम मैं रह गया था।
मैं करूँ?
जी इकरा करें.
मेरा मोबाइल बंद होने वाला है, तो हमें
ठीक
चांस
है
दे
साद,
दें।
अल्लाह हाफिज बेटे, चले जाओ जी.
नहीं,
इकरा.
मैं प्रेजेंट कर देता हूँ।
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ikra. I am from Geophysics department. Today I am going to deliver a presentation on a topic how to prepare for a job interview. A job interview is an essential step in the hiring process. It provides candidates with an opportunity to present their qualifications, communication skills, and personality. Therefore, proper presentation is necessary in order to perform confidently and create a positive impression on the interviewer. Firstly, it is important to gather information about the company before attending the interview. Candidates should learn about the company's background, services, achievements, and objectives. As a result, they are able to answer questions more efficiently and demonstrate their interest in the organization. Secondly, candidates should carefully study the job advertisement and understand the responsibilities and skills required for the position. This helps them explain how their abilities and experiences are suitable for the job. Furthermore, preparing for possible interview questions is also very important. Interviewers commonly ask questions such as what do you want? Why do you want this job? What are your strengths and weaknesses? Why should we hire you? By practicing these questions in advance, candidates can improve their confidence and communication skills. In addition, candidates should prepare a few questions to ask the interviewer. For example, they may ask about career growth, opportunities, or workplace responsibilities. Finally, dressing professionally on the day of interview is equally important. Clean, neat, and formal attire helps create a strong first impression and shows respect for the interview process. To conclude, successful interview preparation requires confidence, research, practice, and professional behavior. If candidates prepare themselves properly, they can greatly improve their chances of success. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, Ikra, that's good. G Momin.
Yes, ma'am. So my name is Syed Mohammad Momendibaj and I'm from Geophysics department. So today I'm giving presentation on how to prepare for a job interview. So for applying a job and preparing for an interview, what we can do is we should always dress well. Our impression to the interviewer should be positive. And along with that, a person can also show calmness and collectiveness in his behavior. We must know about the description and role in our company and an idea about the company's field, reputation, work environment, and what the company is expecting from us. Job knowledge is a must thing while preparing for an interview. If asked any question about your role, you should always elaborate so the person conducting interview is satisfied. However, questions are not always meant to be easy, so always look or watch out for extra resources and questions so that you can prepare well. Be open about asking questions that might confuse you. It can be your related to your job role or any field. Another big factor in our interview is confidence. If a person is shy or doesn't seem to be confident enough, he cannot crack the interview, as communication is the basic skill required for working. Furthermore, display all of the achievement and skills as a medal. They make all the difference for why you are a better choice for them than someone else. Uh, Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All with anybody else?
Can I?
जी Zenia.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and good morning. Today, I'm going to talk about how to prepare for a job interview. Nowadays, interview preparation is very important because competition for jobs is increasing. Proper presentation help us become confident and improve our performance. Firstly, importance of interview preparation. Preparation is necessary before every interview. A prepared person can answer questions clearly and feels less nervous. In addition, preparation creates a positive impression on the interviewer. Secondly, knowledge about the company. Secondly, we should research the company before attending the interview. As environmental science students, we may apply in environmental agencies, NGOs, industries, or laboratories. For example, we should know what type of environmental work the company does, its goals and projects, whether it works on pollution control, climate change, or waste management. Thirdly, understanding job requirements. We should carefully read the job requirements. Environmental science jobs may require skills such as environmental monitoring, report writing, field work, laboratory analysis, and communication skills. Furthermore, preparing interview questions. We should practice common interview questions such as tell me about yourself, why did you choose environmental science, what are your strengths, why do you want this job. Moreover, environmental knowledge. As environmental science students, we should know about environmental issues in Pakistan, including air pollution, water pollution, climate change, waste management, and finally, dress code and body language. Our dressing should be neat, clean, and formal because first impressions matters a lot. During the interview, we should maintain eye contact, speak politely, sit confidently, avoid nervous behavior. And last conclusion to conclude, success in job interview depends on preparation, confidence, and communication skills. If we prepare properly and stay positive, we can perform well and achieve success in our future careers. Thank you.
Okay, Zenia, which degree is it?
Environmental science.
Environment. Right.
मैं start करूं?
जी बेटा.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Vice and the topic today I am presenting is how to prepare for a job interview. First of all, you must know what is why the job interview is very essential, why we have to properly get ready, be prepared for the job interview, why it is very essential. First of all, if the candidate or if you are properly prepared, it gives a very strong impression and also boosts up your confidence as well. Secondly, if we talk about the knowledge, secondly, you must have a proper knowledge about the company. I mean to say that you must have a proper knowledge about the company background, the domain in which they are working. For example, if it is like a marketing agency, you must know what is marketing, what type of marketing they are dealing with. You must know that type of content. Further, thirdly, if we talk about the questions that they mainly ask, I mean to say you must get ready for the question answers back to back. As if you are conducting, you are going for an interview, they must ask some questions. You must there is a tip. Like if they're asking any question, you must give them a question in your answer. Like if they're asking any question related to anything, like if they are taking any question regarding the marketing, you must know you must give the answer in a way that you also leave some question, so that if they ask the next they will ask the same question that you have left in the answer. Furthermore, if we talk about the dress code, it must be a very professional dress code and decent as well. I think you must not go according to the company's dress code. It must be because in Pakistan there is not a professional dress code like that. It must be you should choose up your own, and it must be a professional one and a decent one as well, according to your culture. In conclusion, I will summarize in a way that the prepare about the job interview, you must be well dressed, and you must have a proper knowledge about the company. according in their domain, and how you can give them a benefit in that company, because that is very important. If you are not giving any advantage or any type of goodness about your thing in the company, it is not, they would not prefer you. It is very important that how you can play a very important role in their company. You have to tell that, and that is from my side. You are welcome.
मैं स्टार्ट करूं?
G, please go ahead.
My name is Nadeem Ali Khan. Today, I will talk about how to prepare a job interview because a good job interview can change your life. First of all, look at the research before you go for an interview. You must know what does the company do, what are its products or services, what is its main mission and values. Then understand the job requirements. Take a close at the job advertisement. What are the responsibilities? What skill do they need? Then match your own experience to those requirements. Prepare 2 or 3 examples from your past that prove you have those skills. Then bring me to the third point. Here are the common interview questions. Tell me about yourself. What are your strengths and weakness? Why should we hire you? Then prepare your own question. At the end of the interview, the interviewer will ask, "Do you have any question?" Never say no. If ask question like, "What does a typical day look like? What are the growth opportunities?" This shows you are interested and serious. So we have seen today preparing for a interview involves 4 main steps. First, research the company. Second, understand the job requirements. Third, practice your answer. Fourth, prepare your own question. In conclusion, I would like to say that preparation is the secret to confidence. Thank you. Ma'am Nadeem Ali Khan, Geophysics.
May I, ma'am?
Okay, let's watch a video that will talk about the guidelines for making effective presentations. It's just 2 minutes. तो इसको देख लेते
Ma'am,
हैं.
what about us?
Well, I waited for you guys to start. Are you interested? You want to talk?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Yunus. Am I not audible,
What about
Yunus?
us, ma'am?
I waited.
Yes,
I
you are
told
audible,
you.
ma'am.
So I waited for you guys to come on the mic. Go ahead, please. Talk.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Good evening. I will start my conversation, my presentation. First of all, the purpose of my talk is to explain the importance of interview preparation and the steps we can take to succeed. I divided my talk into three parts: preparing before the interview, behavior during the interview, final tips for the success. First, let's start with the importance of preparation. You know that many people fail interviews because they are not properly prepared. Proper preparation gives confidence and helps us answer questions clearly. It also creates a good impression on the employer. That brings me my next point: knowledge of the company. Before attending an interview, we should research the company. We should know what the company does, its product is, its goal is. As you can see from successful interviews, employers appreciate candidates who know about their organization. Secondly, let's move understanding job requirements. We should carefully read the job and advertisement and understand the responsibilities of the job, the required skills, the qualification that needed. Let's take closer and look at the preparation for interview questions. It is important to practice common interview questions such as: tell us about yourself, what you want this job, and what are your strengths and weaknesses. Practicing these questions improves his confidence and communication skills. After that, we all look at the questions you can ask the interviewer. Questions to ask: what are the working hours? Are there opportunities for promotion? What skills are most important for this role? Asking thoughtful questions show interest. And finally, let's turn to dress code and body language. We should wear clean, neat, and professional clothes. A good body language is also important. Maintain eye contact, sit properly, and smile politely, speak clearly and confidently. Positive body language helps create a strong and professional impression. In conclusion, good preparation increases the chance of getting a job. I would like to conclude by saying that confidence and preparation are the key to success. Thank you all.
Ma'am, may I?
Thank you, Yunus. नहीं बेटे Ali and Saad and those two other students आपकी on campus Monday को होगी, ठीक है? Because we don't have time anymore. We have to finish another topic. तो बाकी हम करेंगे और अगर कोई रह गया है apart from you two or three, they can do it on campus again. और हम इस पे अब wait नहीं कर सकते, ठीक है? चलो,
Okay, ma'am.
let's move forward to the basic, uh, you know, ha- guidelines that can help you make your presentations effective. ठीक है, एक छोटी सी वीडियो है that I want to show you guys so that you can remember these guidelines when you're thinking about um, presentation. That he has talked about in his handout is giving the presentation. The first one is the presentation should be well organized and have an introduction, a main body, and conclusion. And the organization should be made very much clear. Second is the presentation must be focused and the topic should be covered adequately in the time allocated. The answers afterward, if any, should be brief and relevant to the topic. The talk must be presented at a level understandable to the audience. It should be neither too complicated nor too simple, which means again being audience oriented. You should be well prepared and organized. You must rehearse your talk before presenting it to the audience. You should present yourself well, dress properly. So, the pointers that you pointed out for me right now are given in this handout, which is available in the form of recording in your LMS already, right? Other than that, you should speak loud and clear. It's very important to articulate all the words clearly, all the sentences and phrases clearly so that audiences can follow. Control your voice. It should not be too enthusiastic. It should not be too dull. It should be in between the two. You should, maintain an even speaking pace without rushing or dragging. Some of us, we can speak too fast. For example, we just witnessed that all of you, majority of you, are reading from somewhere. I mean, you can see, you could actually not see, of course, but you could hear them mispronouncing the words, although they were reading from somewhere. So it gives a very bad impression that you're just copy pasting from somewhere, and even then you cannot produce well. For example, there was a presenter who started by telling us, I will present you. That is incorrect. That simply means कि वो हमें present कर देगा किसी को. ठीक है, बेसिक मिस्टेक है. फिर लैक को लेक कहा जा रहा है. देन skeptical का वर्ड किसी ने यूज किया बट दे वर नॉट एबल टू प्रोनाउंस इट प्रॉपरली. एडवर्टाइजमेंट नहीं कहना आ रहा, जो बच्ची कहीं से देख के पढ़ रही थी वो एडवर्टाइजमेंट पे अटक गई. सो व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग फ्रॉम समवेयर, एटलीस्ट make it sound natural. And then the second presenter was too they were lacking enthusiasm at all. It was just a task that they had to get done and be done with it. वो clearly frustration in their voice could be heard. ये हमें नहीं पता चला, audience को नहीं पता चलनी चाहिए. That should be your prerogative. ठीक है. उसके बाद there was one presenter, they read in chunks. They were reading from somewhere and there was no spontaneity at all. We could clearly tell that they do not understand what they are saying. ठीक है, बिल्कुल उन्हें समझ नहीं आ रही थी वो क्या कह रहे हैं, और अगर उन्हें कहना था तो बड़ी बेजारी से they completed it. And the last two or three people, very non-effective. Doesn't make no sense. God knows what you were trying to do, right? लेकिन आपने ट्राई किया, इसलिए आपको कुछ ना कुछ स्कोर एलोकेट कर दिया गया है इन योर स्कोर शीट इन क्विज नंबर 1. ठीक है. उसके अलावा जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है दैट इज how to these are the 10 tips that should be in your mind regarding the design preparation of the presentation. I'll just quickly show you this so that you can take a look at it and then we can move forward. So this handout has been written by John Thompson and it has been taken from presentationadvisors.com. Now let's have a look on the tips and techniques that I... Okay, is it audible and visible? Please confirm. Hmm? चैट में कह रहे हैं, चले मैं चैट देख के आती हूँ.
Ma'am, yes, is.
आ रही है, चलते हैं फिर आगे. Let's move forward. Has been shared with us. Now, first of all, what he has tried to tell us that why do we need to present? Why present? We need to present well because our life is one of the big presentations of all time. We are present aptly put then the Chale, मैं आपको quickly, I just want to finish it in 10 minutes. So the first point that you should remember is the design. You have to keep it simple. because simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. That is what Leonardo da Vinci has also said. So if you make it too grandeur, or if you make it too decorative or too splashy, that would definitely make your design non-effective. And you have to make sure that you're not putting any cognitive load on your information for the people to be overloaded with it. Then you have to choose the font style wisely. Do not go for Comic Sans या वो जो funny किस्म के जो होते हैं which are non-academic. You should always choose Times New Roman, that is mostly used in academia and academic writing. If not that, then in official documentation, it's either Tuhama or एक और font होता है. So you have to choose your font wisely. They have also mentioned about serif font, which is not used in Pakistan, but students जो पाकिस्तान में use करते हैं, that's Times New Roman or Tohama. Then use effective imagery. If you're going to use, any pictures, any infographics, they should be incorporated effectively. यानी वो नजर आने चाहिए. Just because you had to add it उस तरह से नहीं होने चाहिए. अब देखिए, there are 3 pictures given. Now, on the right, you have a typical poorly designed PowerPoint slide that we all do. We go to Gamma AI, Slider, ChatGPT, or any AI, और वो हमें इस तरह से बना देता है. So we should always use more visual slides for our information to be shared. Then comes the second point. First was the designing. Now we have preparation. Take some time to plan. Do not do it haphazardly. For example, right now I gave you very little time. A very short window was given to you to prepare for it. So some of you prepared very well, some of you did your best, and some of you survived it. जो कि हर केस में, चारों केसों में बिल्कुल ठीक है. Whatever you could do in this time, you did that. So taking time to plan should be your point at the top. Get off the grid, which means that some people hear presentation and they immediately open PowerPoint program and they confine themselves to it. And therefore, it is also said somewhere that PowerPoint is the death of education, because what do the student do? They can completely rely on slides. वो उसको रटा मारते हैं और वही produce कर देते हैं. Then comes practice, practice, practice. Practice makes everybody perfect. So we should be practicing in different ways, howsoever it is possible. The next point that you should know is, for every pass I caught in a game, I caught 1,000 in practice. That is what Don Hodgson has said in NFL Hall of Fame receiver. Now, there are many ways to practice presentation. Like I've told you, you can practice in front of a computer, mirror, you can record yourself on the phone, you can use all of these things for your betterment. Then comes the delivery. So the first one was design, second is preparation, and then we have delivery. Do not read your slides blankly. Yes, take a look at the slides, but make sure that you're using some information from your head as well. You're making an effort. For example, right now, the activity we had, some of you were just simply reading, because I could tell, because you were reading the words, you were pronouncing the words so inaccurately कि बोलते बोलते पता चल रहा था that you were reading from somewhere. Of course, you can use black slides. There are two point of views available in the books. One of them, they tell you do not use black slides. The other ones would tell you you should use it. So it is your choice. I would recommend go for other kind of colors. Black is a loud statement. And then you have to make connection with the audience. So these are the 10 points that you should remember while designing, preparing, and delivering your presentation. And this handout is by John Thorne. I'm just going to quickly show you where this information and these recordings are attached in your lectures, so that later on, if anybody or any one of you is interested to take a look at it, you can. This is the lecture number 24. You can see that the articles that we, or the chapters we did, are posted over here. Some extra material is posted in the remarks, and these links can take you the links that I just played for you, not played for you, explained it for you. तो आप उसकी recording भी इस पे जाके सुन सकते हैं. ठीक है. Now, if you have any questions from presentation skills, you may ask, please. Ikra, we can hear you, Vital. Please be very responsible what you're doing in the class. I'm still waiting for the questions if you have any. Okay, since there are no questions, then we'll move forward to a type of communication in which we have to focus on non-verbal communication. But in order to understand that, you need to understand what communication is. Communication is a two-way process where we have a sender and a receiver, where we have feedback loop as well. We also have field of experience. We have input versus output. So two-way process is basically communication. Yes, one way of communication is there, two-way of communication could be there, mass communication is there, lateral, horizontal, vertical communication is there, upward, downward. There are so many types of communication available, but we'll talk about verbal and non-verbal communication. So do you know the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication? Anybody?
मैम क्वेश्चन जरा रिपीट करेंगे?
The question is, do you know the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication?
यस मैम।
What is it?
मैम इन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन हम सामने वाले से बात करके कम्युनिकेट करते हैं, और जो नॉन वर्बल होती है उसमें हम मतलब ये टेक्स्ट यूज कर सकते हैं, मैसेज सेंड कर सकते हैं, ईमेल यूज कर सकते हैं, कोई भी और मोड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन यूज कर सकते हैं।
No, that's incorrect.
नॉन-वर्बल में जेस्चर्स होते हैं।
That's correct. Basically, in verbal communication, you have words, either in written form or spoken form. In non-verbal communication, you use gestures, symbols, and any other form of sign language that may be available outside the capacity of somebody who cannot speak. Now, when I'm talking to you while I'm there on campus, I am using both verbal and non-verbal communication. For example, my words, which make ways to your ears, that is verbal communication because I'm using speech and words to communicate with you. On the contrary, my body language, facial expressions, hand movements, or maybe if I get angry, if I'm happy, if I'm sharing a candid movement with you, all of that experiences which do not require words would be coming under non-verbal communication, right? So this is a basic myth or misconception among masses that verbal communication means where you use, words, और नॉन वर्बल जो है जैसे आपने कहा किसी बच्चे ने अभी बोला कि टेक्स्ट वगैरह, नो दैट्स नॉट इट। हाँ, टेक्सटिंग में भी नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन हो सकती है। एक तो आप वर्ड्स यूज करेंगे ना कि आई एम नॉट कमिंग, लेकिन इफ यू यूज अ इमोटिकॉन विद इट या स्माइली अगर आप उसके साथ इस्तेमाल करते हैं तो दैट स्माइली वुड बी अ नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन, ठीक है। जैसे उसमें वो हंसी की स्माइली होती है, गुस्से वाली होती है, मार कुटाई वाली भी होती है, वो डिपेंड करता है आप कौन सी स्माइली या इमोटिकॉन यूज कर रहे हैं। सो वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन रिक्वायर्स वर्ड्स इन बोथ फॉर्म्स ऑफ लैंग्वेज, दैट इज रिटन और स्पीच। नॉन वर्बल इज बॉडी लैंग्वेज, जेस्चर्स एंड एक्सेट्रा। Now we'll quickly look at a short video from Coach Alexander Leon. He's very good at it, and I just want to share the same point of views that he's going to share. Let's quickly watch it. It will help you grasp the idea of verbal and non-verbal communication.
Nonverbal communication. And we have a special guest with us, YouTube friend Mary Daphne, and she is going to be helping us out. So let's get into it. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Mary Daphne. She has her own YouTube channel.
Hey, Alex. Thanks for having me on your channel. I am so excited to be here.
Mary Daphne's channel helps millennials boost your social skills with a focus on relationship, productivity, and mental wellness. And at any point, you can find a link to her channel in the description below this video. So please take a look, subscribe, and show her some support. The main point of this video is that we observe verbal and nonverbal communication at the same moment. We don't usually separate these when we express ourselves, and we don't usually separate them when we are listening to somebody else communicate. We experience them all at the same moment. So both of these complement each other. A basic definition of verbal communication is the words and other utterances we use to express ourselves. Not surprising. Nonverbal communication is all of the rest. It's how you look, like your gestures and your face, and also how you sound, like your tone of voice, pacing, and pauses. So clearly, verbal communication has specific meaning, and some people think that nonverbal communication works the same way. Some people claim that they can literally read your nonverbals as if they know the secret code. But is that really the case? That's what we're going to talk about. Let's ask Mary Daphne what she thinks. Do nonverbal cues like gestures have specific meanings or not?
Before Daphne answers that question, what do you think? Do these non-verbal cues have specific meaning attached to it or not? आपको क्या लगता है?
यस मैम। नॉन वर्बल क्यूज जो है हमें स्पेसिफिक मीनिंग्स देते हैं, जैसे फेशियल एक्सप्रेशंस या फिर सर्टेन जेस्चर्स हो गए, उससे हम समझ सकते हैं कि जो सामने वाला है वो क्या कहना चाह रहा है या एक्सप्रेशंस क्या है।
ठीक है, फेयर इनफ। चले देखते हैं डेफिनी क्या कहती है।
You know, Alex, that's a very interesting question. One way we can think about nonverbal gestures is through emblems and illustrators. Emblems are the nonverbal cues that have a universal meaning within a specific culture. For example, if we're talking about American culture, these days work moves fast.
Okay, I do not have free YouTube, so bear it with me.
We know that means good job, or circling our index finger next to our ear means that person is totally crazy. A really cool thing to note, however, is that emblems are decided by a particular society. This means that in one culture, a gesture could be very different from what it denotes in another culture. I remember when I was teaching a communication class in Istanbul, Turkey, and there were some Middle Eastern exchange students who were offended by the thumbs up gesture because it means something derogatory in their cultural context. So we have to be mindful that while emblems can have agreed upon meanings, they're inextricably linked to their cultural context. And so the meaning can vary significantly from culture to culture. Now, illustrators are interesting because unlike emblems, we use these automatically and subconsciously to illuminate the words we're speaking. It helps us paint a picture that our words are expressing. They're not explicitly taught to us or tied to a culture. They're often unique to the person, timing, and situation. Let's say someone's excited to see their friend. In addition to saying, "It's so great to see you," they use big sweeping gestures with their arms. These gestures signal joy and excitement. On the flip side, if you're in a high stakes meeting and are super nervous, you're probably going to be more reserved with your illustrators, possibly using stiff or jerky movements. And if you think about it, we still use these nonverbals even if no one's there to see them, such as when we're on the phone. They're deeply rooted in our communicative behavior. You know what's funny, Alex? When I'm editing my YouTube lessons, I don't even realize that I'm using illustrators because they just flow naturally.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I'm sure most people would likely agree. They don't usually think about the exact gestures they use. And by the way, I will link to all of the sources that we are talking about in the description below this video, so you can take a look at those. So in addition to emblems and illustrators, could you give us more detail about how verbal and nonverbal communication overlap? How do these work together?
There are 6 different ways that nonverbal and verbal communication interact in real life. So the first one is repeating. You can think of this one as the nonverbal behavior reinforcing the verbal message. In other words, you are repeating your message because you are essentially saying the same thing. For example, saying "nice job" while giving a thumbs up achieves this. Or you might say, "Don't interrupt me" while putting your hand out as repetition. The second one, substituting. So with substituting, you're using a gesture or some other form of nonverbal communication in place of a word. For instance, you might give a high five instead of saying, "Wow, that's awesome, congratulations." Number 3, turn taking. This one is about relying on nonverbal communication to signal turn taking. Let's imagine you're in a group conversation and you notice that Jimmy hasn't gotten a chance to say anything yet. Noticing that, you might lean in and do an outwardly gesture facing Jimmy to signal that maybe they would like to say something. Number 4, complementing the verbal message. So with complementing, you can think of enhancing your verbal message with nonverbal communication. You can use complimenting to drive home a point or to clarify a message. For example, if you're giving your manager a rundown of your team's epic progress this quarter, you might gesture an upward chart signaling growth. Number 5, emphasizing. If I'm looking to really emphasize my point, I might use a strong gesture. But I could also leverage paralinguistics, which includes tone of voice, volume, inflection patterns, and pitch. Or I might change my word pacing or add some dramatic pause for that extra oomph. These are a few examples of ways to truly accentuate your verbal message, especially in the context of a speech, presentation, meeting, or pitch. And the last one, number 6, contradicting. This one is pretty interesting. Your nonverbals contradict your spoken words. So for instance, let's imagine a friend tells you they are in so much pain, but they're smiling. These are contradictory, right? Or imagine that a friend tells you that they had so much fun hanging out, but they have a deadpan look on their face. It almost seems sarcastic, right? Well, even if they're not being sarcastic, it sticks out like a sore thumb because what they are saying does not match how they are saying it.
That's a really helpful list. And on the last point, contradiction, there is a related term for this when our nonverbal communication doesn't match up with our verbal communication. In a poker game, they call this a tell to see if you're bluffing. Researchers call this nonverbal leakage. And even if you say how you feel with your words, other feelings can leak out through your nonverbals. So can you tell us a little bit more about this?
I love the terminology for this concept because it is such a visceral image. We can think of nonverbal leakage as our gestures blowing our cover, so to speak, when we're attempting to conceal something. For example, if we verbally express one thing, but our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice are screaming something else entirely, our nonverbals are leaking into our words and altering our message. In other words, there's a disconnect between what we're saying and how we are saying it. Research shows that in studies on deception, 98% of people expressed nonverbal leakage when they were trying to hide a charged emotion like anger, jealousy, depression, or dishonesty. So viewers might be wondering, well, what does nonverbal leakage look like? Tone of voice is a huge giveaway, and so are body gestures that misalign with the verbal message. But there's also something called micro expressions, where an emotion will flash across the person's face. But you'll have to pay close attention or you'll miss it, because these happen as fast as 1/15th to 1/25th of a second. The 7 micro expressions, happiness, surprise, fear, anger, sadness, disgust, and contempt, are universal and exist across most cultures. Funny story, on a recent skiing adventure, my husband decided it would be fun for us to go boot packing, meaning climbing up the mountain outside of the ski resort bounds. I was mortified because not only had I not been skiing in over 10 years, I had never been backcountry, where I would have to carry my skis up an icy mountain with all of my heavy gear on. But I could see that he was really excited about this. So I said, sure, that's awesome. But as I said that, my hands were trembling, I was sweating profusely, and my eyebrows were deeply furrowed. Major nonverbal leakage, right? Well, fortunately, I had my face mask and goggles on, so he couldn't see any of it. It wasn't until after we made it down the mountain that I fessed up about how nervous I was. Much funnier in retrospect.
That's a great example about how microexpressions and nonverbal leakage work and how our nonverbal and verbal communication can sometimes send a mixed message. So thank you for helping us out today, Mary Daphne. It was great to have you on the channel.
That was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for.
So I hope you guys enjoyed it too. It's a very informative video. I will paste the link in your LMS as well for you to follow. There is a lot of information in it that you should know. They've talked about emblems, illustrators, nonverbal leakage, micro expressions, and much more. These are nonverbal communicative cues that you should know. There are other cues as well that we'll talk about in the next class. Of course, now I would give you 10 minutes to absorb all this information that I've just shared with you. This is not a lot of information, but yes, there is a lot of new pointers that you probably have come across today, basically in verbal and non-verbal communication. But maybe in the rest of it, you already knew the preparation, the designing thing, the organization of the presentation. So take a look at the material that I've posted. If you have any questions, I'll take those questions after 10 minutes. Otherwise, I just have to give you a task that is going to base on a very uh, basic topic of sentence structure. So after 10 minutes, if you have any questions regarding these things, you may ask, please. You can post those questions in the chat box. I'll be answering them after 10 minutes. Okay, there are no questions. किसी का कोई question नहीं? You don't have any of the questions that you would like to ask about what we have discussed so far? If you don't have any questions, please write in the chat box, no questions. Okay. 4-5 बच्चों ने तो कह दिया they don't have any questions. So we'll quickly take a look at a topic that is very easy, something that you already know probably. We are going to talk about that how a sentence is made and what is a subject and a predicate. Any idea how many of you are aware of this? You can show me thumbs up. That would mean that you know this topic already. Okay, since there's no thumbs up, I would understand that you don't know what it is. Okay, there's one. There was one student who knows. We're going to talk about subject, predicate, and their types as well. Subject has many types, so does predicate. But before we get into that detailing, let's talk about what is a sentence. How can we define a sentence? Now, a sentence is a group of words which contains a subject and an object and a verb, right? We have subject, verb, and it has the ability to express a complete thought. The ending marks, the punctuation marks that we use in a sentence could be either a full stop or a period, question mark or exclamation mark. Now, there are 4 types of sentences, right, that you already know. Um, and if we talk about the structure, that sentence has two parts. One is subject, the other one is predicate. Subject is basically noun or pronoun. Predicate is everything that comes after the verb in the sentence. For example, subject answers who or who, and predicate answers what about it. Now, if we look at the examples, he smiles or he sleeps. He is a pronoun, smile is a state of verb. Okay? Then we have autumn leaves twirl gently on the ground. Now, autumn leaves is a subject because it has a noun and an adjective in it. जब भी आपने, whenever you're going to identify subject, you should either look for a pronoun or a noun, and the rest of it that comes before the verb is part of the subject itself. Another example could be the Park District will open an outdoor ice skating rink in the November. So a sentence is like a bicycle, right? The front wheel is the subject, the back wheel is a predicate, and these two parts they connect to form a stable structure, a sentence. Now they have used this analogy to talk about it. Now look at this. The color scheme gives it away. We have already talked about it. That subject, the green color represents subject, the blue one represents the predicate. Predicate is the verb itself, and green is the pronoun. Now let's talk about, that was the a basic understanding of subject and predicate. Now let's take a look at a complete subject. Now, can you identify a noun in this sentence? The cheerful yellow flowers brightening the front porch. Which word among these highlighted green words is a noun?
Ma'am, can you repeat the sentence?
Yes, Nida, that's correct. Flowers is a noun. I just asked that ये जो ग्रीन कलर में वर्ड्स हैं इसमें, इस फ्रेज में हमारे पास नाउन कौन सा है? We have already understood that in subject we will be looking for either noun or pronoun. So the best way to identify is to look for the noun, and the rest of it, the cheerful yellow, is article and adjectives. They are complementing the noun. So all of it all together would be a complete subject, right? Simple subject would be the flowers, that is a noun, and the rest of it coming with it, that would turn this into a complete subject. So one type is simple subject, the other type is complete subject. Simple subject, like I told you, if you look at it once more, flowers is the simple subject, the cheerful yellow flowers is the complete subject. Remember, when we are identifying subject and predicate in a sentence, first of all, we need to look for the verb in the sentence and draw a line, because the moment we are going to identify our verb, और उस वर्ब के बाद जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है वो प्रेडिकेट में चली जाती है. Now let's have a little bit of examples. My little brother broke his finger. Broke is a verb, so we have drawn a line in red color. My little brother together is a complete subject. However, brother itself is a simple subject. What about this sentence? His uncle will ask for directions. First of all, tell me what word is or where, from which word the verb is starting or the predicate is starting. Identify a verb in this sentence, or two verbs for that matter.
Ask.
Then what about will? Good. Nida and Aima and Ikra will ask together. Of course, ask is the main verb and will is there to accommodate, right? So his uncle is our subject. Now, his uncle, there are two words. So, can you tell me which is the simple subject and what is the complete subject in his uncle? uncle is the simple subject, good Usma, and complete subject would be his uncle. Good. देखिए uncle हमने identify कर लिया, uncle is a noun. ठीक है यहाँ पे, और his जो है यहाँ पे pronoun भी है और possessive adjective भी है, तो वो इसमें इसको complement कर रहा है. So this is your key to understand simple subject and complete subject. And then you have other examples to learn from. Then let's move forward to complete predicate. We have the same sentence, but now we will be focusing on the predicate part. Remember, predicate is where the verb starts. It could be verb phrase, जैसे अभी will ask में will हमारे पास helping verb था, ask was the main verb. So the cheerful yellow flowers brighten the front porch. Brighten the front porch is the complete predicate. Brighten itself is the simple predicate. Do you understand this? This is very easy. It's not that difficult. समझ आना चाहिए. Yes, ठीक है. अब इसी एग्जाम्पल को his uncle will ask for directions. इसमें हमारा predicate कहाँ से start होता है? From which word we are going to start predicate? You have already identified. Will ask for direction. Will is the helping verb. Ask is the main verb. And together, this phrase will ask for direction is the complete predicate. और simple predicate क्या होगा इसमें? Will ask for direction में? Hmm? ठीक है, क्योंकि हमारे पास will जो है वो helping verb है ना, तो ask is going to be the simple verb over here, या simple predicate here. Now look at the second sentence. Those students carried backpacks. Where do we start our predicate in the second sentence? Carried or carried backpacks together, that is complete predicate. ठीक है, फिर आ जाती है हमारे पास बेटे थर्ड टाइप. गुड, यानी कुछ बच्चों को तो डेफिनेटली समझ आ रही है. दैट इज अ कंपाउंड सब्जेक्ट. कंपाउंड क्या होता है? कंपाउंड वर्ड पता है आपको क्या होता है? व्हाट्स अ कंपाउंड वर्ड?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it
I'm combination of multiple things.
मल्टीपल वर्ड्स? अगर हम कंपाउंड वर्ड की बात करें तो मल्टीपल वर्ड्स, मल्टीपल
मैम मैं
कंप्लीट
केमिस्ट्री वाले
वर्ड्स.
कंपाउंड की बात कर रहा हूँ.
नहीं, हम वर्ड्स की बात करें. मैंने कहा कंपाउंड वर्ड क्या होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो हमारा वर्ड है क्लासमेट या क्लास रूम. क्लास और रूम को हम अलग अलग भी लिख सकते हैं, but when they come together they make a separate meaning. That is a compound word for you. And same goes for compound subject. Look at the example they have given. Two or more subjects joined by the coordinating conjunction, and Michael and his teammates are Olympic athletes. ठीक है, Michael and teammates. अब Michael हमारे पास नाउन है, टीममेट्स हमारे पास ऑल्सो नाउन है, और वो एक दूसरे को कॉम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं. दे आर को जॉइंड विद द हेल्प ऑफ and, that is a coordinating conjunction. Every morning he and the other athletes swim laps. Okay, he and athletes, they are from the same category. And the entire sentence, every morning, entire phrase, every morning he and his other athletes would be complete compound subject, and simple subjects would be he and athletes. Okay, now look at this. Tell me if you can identify in the first sentence, of course, the necklace and bracelet matched. So can you identify the compound subject in it?
Necklace and bracelet.
Bilkul. The necklace and the bracelet, because necklace and bracelet both are nouns and they are co-joined with and the necklace and the bracelet, the entire phrase is the complete compound subject. Same goes for predicate. इसमें भी जब आप predicate को identify कर रहे हैं, तो you can do by drawing a line before a verb. Lisa, pitches and hits the softball game. Pitches and hits दोनों actions हैं, दोनों verbs हैं, तो वो compound predicate को represent करते हैं. उसी तरह से she worked hard, practiced and won the championship. Worked, practiced and won. तीनों जो है वो action words हैं, verbs हैं, इसलिए वो compound predicate में आ जाते हैं. I hope this is clear. It was a very easy task. समझ आ गई बेटे? Have you understood these three types of subjects and predicates? Simple, complete and compound. चलें. I hope you have read your announcement section. You have a quiz. Let me see from what I might have posted. Yes, on 18th of May, you're going to have your quiz from narrative writing, short story writing, homophones, and sentence structure. In terms of sentence structure, this topic will be included in your quiz. So you have to come prepared for that. कोई question हो तो please पूछ लें.
No, ma'am.
मैम और भी पढ़ेंगे आज?
नहीं फिर वो ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. I think we should, let it be. If you have any questions, then you can ask.
Ma'am, compound sentence.
Compound. We did not talk about types of sentences. We talked about how subject and predicate both could have certain types. We talked about compound subjects and compound predicates. So, compound meaning that two things are coming together and they are co-joined with the help of a coordinating conjunctions, that is and. And if we go to one example of, let's say, a compound subject, I can tell you once more. Now, this is an example of compound subject. For example, Michael and his teammates are Olympic athletes. Michael is a name, teammates represents a connection with him. So both are nouns and they are co-joined with the help of an and. So this is the compound subject because the rest of the sentence are Olympic athletes is a helping verb for us. So that is going to be a part of predicate.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, we can practice a little. I want you to write two sentences. Each one of you should write two sentences having compound subjects in your sentences. Be creative. Make two sentences. Write in the chat box, please.
मैम कंपाउंड्स पे बनाने हैं टू सेंटेंसेस.
आपने सेंटेंस बनाना है जिसमें कंपाउंड सब्जेक्ट हो.
ओके मैम.
Hmm. Senior, your sentences are incorrect. I think you made a compound sentence. You're supposed to make a sentence having a compound subject bit. बाकियों के ठीक हैं, good sentences. Mhm. See, real life examples भी हमारे पास. Mutahar and Umar are busy arranging makeup classes. Good. Eunice says Roman or Roman and his cousins, they are restless. Okay. Ice and snow are very cold. So you have understood. Good. Now let's move forward to compound predicate. Make a sentence or two having predicates, compound predicates. Nida is asking me whether I wanted books or chocolates. You can bring me both. I don't mind both on my birthday. So you see, Nida creatively asked a question, of course. So this gives me an opportunity to explain that the sentence does not have to be an informative or declarative sentence. It could be a question sentence as well. Interrogative sentence could be there as well in, when you're using compound subjects. Good. Good contribution. अब आपने सेंटेंस बनाने हैं on predicate बेटे. Yes, that's correct. Hmm. Now you're going to make sentence in which there should be compound predicate being exhibited. For example, like Haika made one, the cat jumped on the table and drank the milk. Jumped and drank. We sit and talk. The boys laughed and played in the park. Good. Huren cooked the dinner and cleaned the house. We watched a horror movie and screamed at every scene. Okay. We went and played cricket. Good. So this simply means that you've understood um, how these subjects and predicates and their compound versions can be made. Good. Because in your examination or in your quiz, such questions could be there. The baby laughed loudly and clapped his hands. Good. Scientists observe and record the experiment data. Good. Chilling. I think we should end the class now. I hope you tried your best to observe all the information that I tried to share with you. I took deliberate pauses of 10 to 15 minutes between topics so that you're not feeling a lot of burden altogether. You should listen to the recording once it's available for you, or you can read the material that I've posted so that you're not left behind. And for those who did not participate today, in Monday's class, you are supposed to participate because for today's participation, I have given the scores in quiz number 1, that is allocated 4 marks. So I've updated your score sheet already. So if you missed today, if somebody is absent today, please do let them know that they are going to present on the same topic in Monday's class.
Mom,
Yes,
is there a quiz on Monday?
yes, there is. You can check the topics which are going to be part of your Monday's quiz from the announcement section. I think I told you the last time as well, but if you're not able to find it, please ask Moment to help you. I think he volunteered to help you find the announcement. So you can always contact him. He
Yes,
will
ma'am.
tell you which topics to be prepared. Moment, make sure that you send him a message, an explanatory message where he knows what is going to happen. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
All right then, let's end the class. 20 minutes are left, but then that's it. You should go rest and I'll see you on Monday. Allah Hafiz, beta.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.